We're in the business of making extraordinary happen.
We understand small business because we are small business.
And we love Melbourne. Through our enterprises, Kreate Australia and Fides and Associates, we have supported some of the city's largest retailers, small businesses and beloved precincts.
Our unique skills and more than 30 plus years combined experience, strengthened by our rich local network of partners, enables us the distinct capability to develop an end-to-end solution for the city that we love. Hi there, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Fides, and welcome to Business Not As Usual, a conversation series for small business in Melbourne.
Throughout this series, we'll identify local challenges and present opportunities for small businesses. We'll chat to local success stories and discuss global insights, all designed as a toolkit to provide lessons learned and tangible actions which will help inform, inspire and empower your small business.
And we'll be speaking to inspiring individuals and pioneers who have created, innovated and carved out their own niche to survive, thrive and flourish in the new normal.
So we know that disruption is all around us and that change is the only constant.
So business is not as usual. Let's reimagine a new playbook for Melbourne and the city that we work, live and visit.
So join us and together let's make extraordinary Melbourne.
So here we are again for another lockdown version of our conversation series, coming to you this time from Teams again and not our studio. But online video is actually how we came to know today's guest anyway. So what do you do when your business model relies on a bricks and mortar customer experience and you're suddenly deemed non-essential due to a global pandemic? I'm pretty sure most of the people watching this video today facing the same problem for the last 18 months. But in the face of this challenge, one business which relied on foot traffic to its mini emporium of products took a very creative and effective step in the right direction to continue to sell to its loyal customers, as well as grow its audience and bottom line. Founded in 2012 by Danielle Goodwin, Hawkeye Vintage is a trusted Melbourne destination for luxury, rare accessories and clothing from bygone eras, from top-selling brands like Chanel to Louis Vuitton, Prada, Gucci and more. Items are sourced worldwide and authenticated. They are licensed dealers. They buy, sell, consign and operate on multiple platforms, online store, pop-up events, Instagram live sales and a private showroom by appointment. With the inability to open the doors in 2020, Danielle started holding online events via Instagram Live, which attracted thousands of watchers and buyers, my partner included, to watch and bid on hundreds of vintage premium and luxury designer goods, some pre-loved, some new, and many very rare collector pieces. The pivot paid off, garnering a phenomenal 175% increase in sales from 2019.
Decades before COVID, Danielle, nicknamed Hawkeye by her mother, for her ability to find vintage treasures, right, Danielle, has long been a fashion collector, scouring flea markets from an early age, her travels over the years, then selling her finds to her friends and markets for a small profit. She studied fashion and fabric design at Auckland University of Technology, a city where her mother owned an antique shop and where her curiosity for pre-loved goods was born, and eventually her passion and knowledge of recycled fashion into the catalyst for her business. You could say it's been years in the making and her business couldn't be any more relevant today, with global conversations, movements and science around fast fashion, sustainability, circular economy and ethical manufacturing. In retail, we're seeing more online and offline secondhand stores, fashion rental platforms like Rent the Runway and Glam Corner, sustainable and considered collections and brands catering for the conscious consumer concerned with the fashion industry's throwaway culture. Like all of us, nothing prepared her for COVID, but Danielle recalibrated and found success with social commerce, enticing the chic and the socially aware, translating a non-essential to essential for her customers and their love for the pre-loved. So here to share more on business as usual, we welcome Danielle Goodwin, founder of Hawkeye Vintage. Hello.
Okay.
So Danielle, I know you're well reputed to be the OG of Insta Live sales and dubbed luxury vintage queen by Broadsheet. I love that. I know we've touched on a bit about your background, but can you share more about your origin story and your love for luxury vintage?
So basically, living in New Zealand and my mum, growing up around my mum, sort of loved for antiques and collecting and sourcing worldwide for French and Italian antiques. I loved doing that, but more in the fashion side of things. So from a young age, I was always going along with her to auctions and markets. We traveled around the world, and on our list of places to go is always the antique markets.
Yeah.
And even right down to op shops as well, like going to op shops and finding really good finds. So it really just started out like that. And actually, I was telling a friend the other day, the first thing I bought was when I was 15 years old. We went to a garage sale in the Gold Coast, and I found this sterling silver Love Heart perfume bottle locket. And this is the first thing I bought and resold. And I sold it on eBay, and I think I got $350 for it. So that is actually where I started. So I started buying little things like that and reselling them from, 15 years old. So that's really where it all started. I obviously love the luxury brands and all the high-end designers. So I started to start sourcing and finding those pieces all around the world, like Paris, America, Japan, and just collecting them for myself. And then it wasn't until like 2012 I had a couple of storage units here in Melbourne that I was just traveling around and sending stuff to my storage unit. And when I got there, my mum was like, oh my God, you need to open up a shop or something, because it was just bursting out with so many things that I had found all around the world. So that's really how it started. And then I had a pop-up shop here in Melbourne to just test the market to see if people were interested in, my passion. And, the reaction was instant and gave me a big boost in my self-esteem. Like, oh, people actually love this stuff, because, it was kind of my little secret hobby on the side.
Yeah.
Hoarding all these beautiful things. And so that's where it started. And then I just grew from there and just been sourcing everywhere, so many different ways that we've been sourcing products. And people seem to love it and still do now. So it's great.
I love it. It's a little bit like going to a candy store that you open a new flavor each week or something. So I don't know, it feels that way.
It's like so exciting, even though we're doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
It's never like not exciting.
No,
it's
I know.
Like
yeah.
Candy, exactly.
And it must be because obviously you've got such a passion for the products that you find and you source, and I've seen that in the way that you demonstrate that when you talk through them. So it must have been really heartbreaking to not be able to have that interaction with people and have the store open. So obviously that would have led you to going into what you went into with the Instagram Live. But could you tell us a little bit about how you kind of came up with that idea to use the platform and what reception you had from the customers that were used to coming in?
So just before COVID hit, actually, it was November, it would have been
2019,
was it? Yeah. The year's
Yes.
just gone so fast now.
Yeah.
So 2019 November, around that time. So I decided to go on a buying trip to Japan, and I took our social media manager with us at the time. And we just kind of thought, well, while we're here in Japan, why don't we host a kind of live sale? Customers can just directly buy from us, and we can just ship things straight away. So kind of thought of that idea just pre-COVID. Like, it was not to the extent of what we're doing now, but it was kind of in the works to kind of have that idea where we could just communicate with the customers and source products for them and ask them, oh, what do you want? And then we could go and source it. And we were in Japan at the time, so we were sourcing products there. So that worked really well, but on a much smaller scale, of course. So we had kind of had that little idea and practice run. Then when COVID hit, we actually had, for that year of COVID, 8 pop-up shop events.
Oh, wow.
Around Australia and New Zealand.
Wow.
And literally that week that the COVID happened, we were just about to pay all the deposits for our flights and for all the event venues, hotels, everything. We were outlaying a lot of money to prepay for everything so we could get advertising rolling and things like that.
Yeah.
That week when that happened, we were like, wow, this is like a blessing. We haven't actually paid for everything yet, because we would have been out of pocket thousands of dollars. So then I just thought, we were just like twiddling our thumbs, thinking, what the hell are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do? Like, I'm a single mother of 2 kids. I've got kids to feed. I don't know. I'm a New Zealand citizen. I don't cut it for the Australian government.
Oh, yes.
Things like that.
Yes. Right.
survival mode kind of kicked in
Mhm.
with me, and I had staff, and I need to pay the staff. They need to eat too. Everyone's got bills. I like just a kind of survival thing kicked into me. And I thought, right, we're just going to move everything online. Let's just do it.
Mm.
So we trialed it a few times. We trialed different ways of doing it, like Instagram stories,
Yeah.
other than the lives. And then we were just fine tuning every single time what was working, what wasn't.
Yeah.
And then now we've fine tuned it so well that, you know, we've just made it so much easier for everyone, like us and the customers. And we've just built up such a big following around that, and with just the response we've had from doing Instagram live sales from the customers, like they're so thankful that they're thanking us for like saving them during this time.
Yeah, I read the comments when I watch you, and I'm like, these people are just loving it. Like it's a community for them as well, an escape. I think, you know.
Right. So we've built this community around, you know, this live sale platform, and you know, people that are isolated or they don't have anyone at home with them. You know, they've felt like they've been a part of something. It's insane. There's been a lot of communication. They're free to chat amongst themselves, and they've all like people have made friends now during like with this group. So it's been like really rewarding for everyone. It's free entertainment. You don't have to tune in to buy something. You can tune in to watch, and it's a lot of.
It's a little bit like window shopping, isn't it, Danielle? Like I love that, but I can't afford it. But I'm happy to watch it. I'm happy to watch Danielle unbox it.
Yeah. So we've made them kind of like fun, and like, you know, there's a bit of banter that goes on, and you know, and we'll get like this random guy pop up, and the girls are like, "Ooh," you know.
Maybe that was Dylan. Oh, yeah.
You know, it's been, I think mentally, it's been just really rewarding for everybody. Everybody like something to look forward to on these lockdown weekends.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of work behind it. There's a lot more that meets the eye. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on that people don't see and they don't understand.
Well, actually, that was my next question, Danielle. How does it work? Because I mean, I've seen you, like, you know, I log on in the morning and you're live, and then, you know, I'll hang on for like an hour. I'm like, you're still going. It's a marathon. And then I'm still seeing on my Instagram, you're still live at 8 o'clock in the evening. I'm like, wow, this is full on. Like, wow. So production behind the scenes, I'm sure. So can you tell us how it all works behind the scenes and what all the preparation and stuff that you do?
So thankfully with our business, our supply has still been quite strong. So that's one thing, that because if our supply had stopped, and I know some businesses, they haven't been able to get their supply like normal. So that's the one thing with us. Our supply is still being really strong, which is the key factor in that story. If we didn't have the supply, we wouldn't have anything to sell.
And is that you've got a network internationally in terms of source or buyers or people you source from? Yeah,
we have buyers around the world, and we're just constantly sourcing, and we deal with licensed dealers. So it's like dealer to dealer, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We also have consignment. So we promoted that during COVID to give our followers something to do while they're at home, declutter the house, clean out the wardrobe as well, you know, and sell things that you don't want anymore or don't use. So that was really, we had a good response with that, and it gave people an activity to do in the house and also make a little bit of money as well, selling things that they don't use anymore. The supply has been really strong for us, which is good. And I think people are really more conscious now of like recycling fashion and buying also recycled fashion, secondhand, rather than buying new, that sort of thing. So it's been really good on both ends of that. So other than the sourcing part, which is basically my full-time job in the office, I'm just, you know, sourcing almost, like 10 hours a day or more.
Wow.
So it's actually quite a big job to find everything. Then we authenticate everything, and so it's quite a big process.
Wow.
That the preparation for the sale, it involves you know, we do a lot of blogger collaborations, advertising, and the marketing behind it. we've got a lot of loyal customers, but we wanted to introduce ourselves to new customers as well. So behind the scenes is a lot. We're pricing the stock, preparing the stock. We actually curate the collection that we're going to sell for each sale so that it kind of looks appealing. So we're not seasonal, but for example, we might curate like a spring collection. Just kind of theme each event so that it looks attractive to the customers, and we kind of put things together so that they can visually see pieces together. Because obviously they can't see it in person, so we try to show as much as we can visually through the camera, and by curating collections it's easier on the eye for the customers as well. So the advertising and marketing that's involved, the pricing of the stock, the unpacking of the stock, that's a big job. Our office is up the stairs, so boxes going up the stairs, down the stairs.
And deliveries, right? So do you deliver, so if you do a live sale on a weekend, do you deliver out the Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
Wow.
So we pack all the orders on the Monday and Tuesday. So we physically pack everything ourselves, and then we send everything out with the courier by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the latest Friday. So we try to get things out as fast as possible. The packing part is very tedious, especially when we're packing crockery. So we excess package everything, and it's not pretty packaging, but it arrives safe.
That's what you want.
We don't have the best packaging, but at least it arrives to everybody safe and secure. And then obviously with the sale, we start really early in the morning and we do a 12-hour day. So for the 3 days of the sale, but then packing days. So it's literally a 5-day, 12-hour days in a row. Sale. And so after we've done all the advertising and marketing and all of that preparation for the sale, all the stock, we aim to have around like 600 to 1,000 pieces per sale. And then we sell the products. So basically the girls are behind the camera, I'm on the camera. I've already set up the stock in front of me on trestle tables that I'm going to show so that I can just go as fast as I can. Showing the products, and then the girls are taking the sales, which is the fun part, because they get maybe 10 messages per every one item. I try to show the product to the best I can and describe it to the best I can so that it eliminates the questions. And then basically the process is to direct message us sold with the item number, or
in a DM, right? As a DM.
Sold. And then they take the payment from there. So we have all the different payment options, and so it's quite a big process.
How big is how many people do you have in your operation then? Because it sounds like, I mean, whenever I've watched it and I've asked Elise to explain to me what's going on, because it's like, I'm DM sold, I've missed the boat, I haven't got the person. Somebody's there like instantaneously working through them. So how many people do you have?
So it was a team of just 4 people, me and 3 other girls. One of our staff has gone to pursue her acting career, so it's now just the 3 of us, which is manageable. But with our office size, COVID doesn't actually allow us to have, we don't have the size to have more staff. So we do as much as we can within, our means. So it's a small group, but it's manageable. If we were able to get a bigger office and, maybe more staff could help, maybe casual staff helping with the packing and that sort of stuff. But it's manageable, just the 3 of us and maybe one other casual. So with the girls, we've got like automated messages that we instantly out when they DM sold for the product. And then it's about taking the payment, and then we have to write the name of the person on the product, and then it goes into another room. And so the other room is the sold products. And unsold stuff is in the front room. So we're constantly going in and out. It's a matter of like separating the stock so that it's not all messed up and a mess. So there's a lot
methodical. You've got a system happening. Otherwise, it would be a bit of a mess post sale, and you got to figure out which was sold and which hasn't. Because then you resell those items as well, right? You post it up on Instagram down the track. Yeah.
And then we actually need to check payments as well. So
Okay.
on the Monday morning, we check that every single payment has come through from the customer. So we check their Instagram message, the screenshot of the bank transfer that they've sent to match with what's in our bank account. And then
Yeah.
we proceed to start
Post it out.
and shipping it out, that sort of thing. So it's quite tedious, but
Yeah.
it's a big job, but it's rewarding and fun, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
be lovely.
Phenomenal. That's every weekend that you are doing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. It's amazing. Like, I see the engagement as well with the people that log on. And I keep saying, like, you get about 200 or 300 at any one time, but I feel like that number's really good, but I feel like it's quality over quantity. People intentionally go online, connect, and with the intention to buy, right? Find their treasure and buy. That's all you need.
Exactly. So we actually have per event, we have maybe 3,000 to 5,000 people actually will come to the event on the Instagram.
Yeah.
And at one time, I'm talking to 200 to 300 people at one time. So
that's right. Yeah.
it'd be like 5,000 people, but they tune in and out throughout the day, that sort of thing. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And
phenomenal.
those numbers, because obviously I know you said you started to dabble in this before COVID. You sort of preempted this, which is a nice insight to have. Have you kind of shifted that who you normally, so you're seeing who's purchasing is much bigger from an audience footprint than you might have had if you were doing bricks and mortar or your pop-ups?
Definitely. So I suppose with now doing these live sales, what it's the benefit of it is that before, when we were doing pop-up events, we're only limited to the customers that are at that pop-up event in that city at the time. So if we're doing a pop-up event in Perth, only the Perth people can come there.
Of course.
So basically what the Instagram has done is it's been able to, we've been able to reach everyone wherever you are in the one space.
Yeah.
So it's created more sort of urgency, and I suppose we've been able to sell more this way because we're actually reaching everyone in the time rather than just the amount of people that were coming to the Perth pop-up or Sydney, etc. So the audience has grown bigger, and it's just actually it's easier for the customers because it's now more accessible for them.
Yeah.
Which is, a convenience thing as well. It's convenient for them to shop from home and watch live. They don't have to go anywhere, and so it's a win-win actually for both sides.
And how have you, how much, so with your audience that you're talking about, are they primarily women, a certain age group, or professionals and whatnot? So,
But we do have a few male customers, which is nice. And then we have a few hubbies in there that are buying for their wives, which is also nice. Yeah. So, and when the hubbies are on there, all the girls are like, "Oh, you have such a nice hubby." You get happy approval. But it's mainly women, and the age group would be really between like 28 years old to 65. It's a really wide audience.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that are wanting to buy sustainable luxury products, recycled, and people that appreciate the quality of the vintage Chanel pieces.
Because it is really truly an investment in a piece, isn't it? It's like, buy once, buy well. Let's move on to then the next question, Danielle. So what would you say are your 5 tips that you would have for small businesses investigating flexible channels and flexible channel opportunities in the face of their downturn in physical custom or physical patronage?
Firstly, stock. Stock is a big one. You've got to be selling something that people want. And I think, there's a lot of small businesses out there and they're struggling. And I think, look at what you're selling.
Yeah.
And the price point of things.
Some businesses have been around for quite a long time. I see that they're fairly connected and have a deep connection to some of the products that they sell. But if the market isn't responding to that, there's something that they need to, I guess, revisit, right? So they just have to be courageous about that and take that step.
My other tip would be you can't just assume to open up a business and people are going to come to you. You need to reach them.
Yeah.
This game, at the end of the day, the more people you reach, the more customers you're going to have, the more inquiries, the more sales.
Yeah.
I think you need to reach them and come up with strategies on how you can reach them.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and wait for everybody to stop by your shop.
It's also,
A lot
it's
of bricks and mortar stores are waiting for the foot traffic to come to their store. You know, so with that sort of understanding the broader, I guess, picture of why they're not actually coming into your store. Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, the products that we're selling are desirable, but we're not just sitting there waiting for everyone to come to us.
Yeah, being proactive about it, right?
Yeah. And get active. Like,
Yeah.
get involved in a collaboration with some other small businesses.
Yeah.
Do a competition giveaway. Just be active as much as you can, and networking with other small businesses that could, benefit each other.
Yeah.
Just be involved in anything you can in your industry, really, to get your brand out there more. And there's so many free ways of doing it. Like, whenever we do one of our events, we have a list of free advertising and we have a list of paid advertising. The free ones, because it's free.
Yeah.
And it's a numbers game. Maybe with that one free ad, we only reached 10 people, but that was a new 10 people.
Yeah.
Got one new customer that spends $5,000. Hey, that's great. We got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
you could play around with the free and paid advertising, right? So different messaging, different sort of variants that you test out and see what sticks. And then you follow through with that.
Yeah. Test out ones obviously work. Like, you don't want to waste your time on putting, things forward if it's not really working. But at the end of the day, I think, it's a numbers game. The more people you can reach, the more people you'll have, as customers at the end of the day, and the more sales you make. So that would be my tip number 2. I'm just thinking on the spot, by the way. I didn't pre-write any of this.
That's all right. These are great, though. These are based on all your experience, which is what we want.
So number 3, I think, would be, platforms. Try every single platform. And I've tried every single platform. We've had an eBay shop. We've had an Etsy shop. We've had a Depop shop. We've had Facebook shop. We've had the Instagram. We've had the pop-up shops, physical shops, online store, you name it. We've done it. We know what works, what doesn't for us. Other businesses need to try that too, because you just don't know. I didn't know that Instagram live sales would work for us.
Until it did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, we've got an online store, website, and I'm telling you now, it does not work. Our online store does not work. And people say to me all the time, why don't you put all the products online? I'm like, because I'm not going to waste an hour per product putting it online and nobody go on there and buy something when I can show it to you live now on camera and you'll instantly buy it.
That's so interesting. Yeah. But I think also your items require that kind of storytelling, more sort of explanation, real life sort of showcasing, because it is an investment. People want to know more about it. And I think your knowledge really helps, I guess. Yeah.
I love that idea that you said, don't just sit and, be on a platform, sure, but don't be on it if it's not working. Like,
yes.
You try something else, shift to something new. That's
But you got to try, right? You got to be proactive at Danielle and try it out and see what happens. And if it works, it works. You stick with that. If it doesn't, you let it go.
So number 5, I think price point would be a good tip. Finding the price point for your product for the right demographic. Now, no point in having a really expensive product and your demographic being 16 to 20-year-olds that have a very small income. And I know, a few products that are kind of targeted to that younger demographic, but the product, you can't lower the price because then you wouldn't be making money. So I think just knowing your market, demographic, and pricing it right to that demographic. And again, that's really hard to know. I didn't write a business plan for the business. And I know some people do, and then it doesn't work. So I really think just trial and error with a lot of things to know what's really going to work in a time like today when nothing is certain, people's income going up, going down. It's just really unstable at the moment. You just kind of really don't know. Like, we've got customers now that would have normally shopped at Hermes and bought things brand new. So thought we would have had those customers, but now we do. So things are changing, demographics are changing, people's incomes are changing. So I think just with your product that you're selling, just finding the right price, and also, you know, bundling items where you can bundle a few, get a discount, things like that, volume, and try. It's really more about, you really need to, with products you're selling, it's volume. You need to think volume. There's no point in trying to have, okay, let's say in my field, 10 Chanel handbags overpriced and waiting for that one customer to come and buy one. You're better off lowering the price, making it more affordable, and selling the whole 10 all at once. Over the stock.
Yeah, true.
Turnover. I think just constantly thinking about the turnover with getting the price right. So even if you just lower your prices a little bit, but you might sell double the amount.
Yeah, exactly.
For you, and you're getting more products out, and then you might get more return customers.
Yeah.
So
and you do, right? I mean, that's demonstrated in your the people that log in every week on your channels.
I think there was quite a few tips in there, because I think you might have given us 2 or 3 tips in each tip, which I think is amazing.
There's like sub tips in each tip.
I'm fascinated. The one thing I'd love to ask about is, I know in the AFR article that we read about you had this increase in sales from 2019 to 2020. Obviously, what most people are not facing that, because they've had that shift away from physical customs. So, is there anything, just that one last thing that you would say to small businesses that they could think of to perhaps, you know, replicate that without copying your business model, obviously?
Look, I think just again, like try it, give it a go. Look, I think even with fashion, like with clothing, and not vintage, but even if it's new, people want to see it on, because people aren't having that personal experience of going into a shop and talking to a shop assistant. People are missing that. And that is why I think we've done so well, because I'm live and it's interactive, and they can talk to me. They're pretending that they're in the shop next to me, you know? So I think with shopping, it's an emotional buy. People are going to buy if they feel comfortable, if they that, you know, sparks joy, whatever, however they're feeling. And I think just giving that personal experience through a live sale is really, I think it's really good. I think just give it a go.
Yeah. I think people just have to find that courage, because obviously not everyone's confident to be in front of the camera, but you are your brand, right? So you just take the leap and give it a go and see what the kind of, I guess, reception you get from your customers. And I think you just have to be consistently present for your customers, right? Which you are every week. People know and trust that you'll be online, selling amazing stuff every weekend, and they can just, you know, opt in, opt out as they wish. But they know you'll always be there in your presence. So, and I think that you've built such a really great trust with your customers as well. I think that's an important thing too. So they trust your opinion and your curated collection of items. So I think that's really important too. Just one thing I know, because I can't imagine how many parcels you would send on a weekly basis, but I know shipping, logistics, delivery is a big element around e-commerce, social commerce. So is there a tip around that you can share with small businesses?
I hope there's another shipping company soon coming. Maybe there's a gap in the market. There you go. Business idea.
Yeah.
And business idea is someone come up with a better shipping company, please.
Have you tried them all? Have you tried
all? And they're all a nightmare.
Okay.
Find one that will just streamline everything.
Right.
We've had parcels at one stage go all across Australia, going to all the wrong addresses. We've had, it's been, that's probably one of our
big pain points.
Yeah, and it's very time consuming. Like, thank God we haven't had anything really major go missing, or like we've always been able to recover everything. Yeah. It's the time and effort that we've had to go through to chase where this is, where that is. So I think, look, with shipping, I think it's a matter of trial and error, trialing features from one shipping company to another.
Yeah.
But there just doesn't seem to be one company out there that can streamline everything and be 100% reliable. So we use a different one for international, and then we've got the Australian one, which we use in Careers Please.
Yeah.
With Please, we haven't had anything go missing, but it's the admin side, like the the customer service, trying to get to somebody at the centre.
Yeah.
Sort of stuff. It just seems really difficult, and it
Yeah.
just needs to be better with any other company.
Okay. Yeah.
So
There's a challenge for everyone watching.
we've actually even gone to the extent of Uber package,
Oh, wow. Really?
and we've also just last week we did on Airtasker, we got a private like delivery driver to and pick up like, you know, some really huge parcels that we have, and he just worked for us for one day delivering them all around Melbourne. So yeah, like I said, we're trying everything. I personally deliver stuff every week as well to some of the
do you? I love it. I love the fact that you're so open-minded and just trying different things and see what works. Like, I think that's such a great idea. I mean, great sort of approach and mindset that you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's next then? Obviously, it's been a big 18 months shifting, and you'll probably continue with the current model. But what's the next plans in the years ahead for Hawkeye?
Well, we're doing a few things, and it's been delayed because of the lockdowns, because, you know, it just rattles our schedules, kids, and all of that. So we wanted to implement a few things this year, which we haven't yet. And one was to actually build an app, an online live shop app for Australia. So it's still, you know, it's still on the cards. I know, like, building that would be such a huge job, but if I have the right sort of people around me that know what to do, then, you know, that could take off. So that is kind of, you know, on the cards at the moment, and just a few other things. We're going to introduce, you know, a couple of other products into the business, like luxury handbag cleaning products and things like that.
Oh, yeah. So that's exciting. So do you have, like with the app, do you have people, how do you go about finding the right people to help you develop that?
Well, I haven't really found the right people yet. I need to do a bit more digging and researching, whether it's with Australia or outsourcing and a developer. So I did outsource a few developers, but I don't know. I just don't feel that it's that secure if I outsource overseas, even though it's a lot cheaper. But
I'm just wondering, this is just thinking out loud. It could be also off topic, off, you know, the record. But one of the key things that I've always been sort of socializing the idea of finding, you know, matching or connecting businesses with some of the startups, local startups, whether it's through co-working spaces and so forth, and then talking about the challenge and the opportunity, and then creating the solution for it. So it might be something that you could throw out to the startup community in Melbourne, and it might be a City of Melbourne thing that they can support you with. And then they can pitch a solution to you down the track, and that's one way you can do it, and make a whole campaign around it as well.
Maybe someone watching today, two things: one, an app developer, and two,
delivery.
Logistics and shipping person might be like, I've got the solution for you.
I know.
Exactly. That would be amazing.
Well,
I think that would be amazing, you know, and it could be such a major sort of feel-good news, but also a nice story where, you know, retail as well as startups can combine expertise and knowledge and build something, a solution, I guess, for you. Yeah. Exciting stuff.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're busy and you've got a lot of things to sort through and organise. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And good luck with all your sales. I'm sure I'm going to purchase something someday, but I'm looking for my little treasure for myself. So congratulations, Danielle, on everything you've done. Love what you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us for Business Not As Usual, a conversation series for small businesses in Melbourne.
For more inspiration, head to businessnotasusual.com.au. I'm Fides.
And I'm Dylan.
See you next time.